How often do you think about recycling? Once, twice a week maybe? You take out the bin every week. You maybe rinse out a soup can. Well, you're not thinking about recycling enough. Because in reality, recycling is total like straight up, just does not work right now. Just doesn't work in any way. I mean, 9% gets recycled, and like, cool, but the yeah, the emissions created by the other 91 is actually worse than just going to landfill. Why do we believe recycling works? Well, it's not your fault. It's actually the rhetoric used. Rhetoric remained a textual training of the ruling class in the techniques of political hegemony. The plastics industry, for decades now, has really been pushing recycling on us. Did you know that the recycling logo is actually not the recycling logo? Like, take this for example. I'll get a close up of this. But this says, please recycle. And it's got the little triangle in it. That's the thin lines. That's not actually the recycle logo. That is the resin identification. Plastic's actually incredibly hard to recycle. But they want you to believe that you are recycling. I think the issue ultimately comes down to the fact that these companies are using us as a scapegoat and putting so much emphasis on the individual themselves. Escobar puts it really well, actually. The notion that we exist as separate individuals continues to be one of the most enduring, naturalized, and deleterious fictions in Western modernity. The plastics industry has taught us to shame each other into recycling. I used to do it. If I'd see someone not recycling, and I would say, why are you not recycling? If only I knew. So pretty much everyone has bought into this idea of recycling, at least 90% of people across the globe. I think the key thing in this conversation to remember is that plastics are made from, say it with me, fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, that's right, that's right. They're pretty notorious for basically going, come on, guys, we're not the problem. We're not the problem. It comes down to the environment and how people view the environment, because people look at the environment and they think of wildlife and nature and the forest and saving the turtles. Take this one's from plasticsrecycling.org. This is one of their peer-reviewed articles. I quote, "Plastics are ubiquitous across the global economy, and they are subject to frequent debate, from their impact on marine pollution to their recyclability." People want to believe recycling works. They really do. And you can see that from this clip. They make it so easy.
If the public thinks the recycling is working, then they're not going to be as concerned about the environment.
It's pretty crazy when they just say it. It's always kind of a shock. Climate change, love climate change. I came across survey results from the Shelton Group. According to their survey, 75% of Americans think that recycling is the best thing they can do for the environment. And that's just really sad. I think I can effectively engage in this discourse around recycling by harassing my roommates to stop recycling. Having these individual conversations with people directly around you is the only way that things can start to change. According to and Cox, they state that we are using verbal and nonverbal communication to express our feelings about the environment. A lot of people choose recycle because it's a nonverbal way of communicating that they care about the environment because they truly believe that it's doing something. It's going to be embracing the fear, but you realize then where it's going and what's actually happening. Bringing conversation to these people close to you is the only way to start dismantling such myths, such collective illusions. We need people to understand that this is bad and we can't do this. And when someone hears that from someone close to them instead of some article on Apple News or Google News or whatever it is, it means a lot more. And if I can get all my roommates on board, they may help further this critical discourse. It's the first step into dismantling the plastic industry's lies. What's at stake with public discourses like this? I don't think it's too extreme to say the whole fate of humanity. If these close personal conversations don't begin to change the narrative, I'm not sure what else will. Why do you think we recycle so much?
I think it's just an illusion, honestly.
Make them seem like they're all for the planet, all good, but they're not so good.
People do want to like help the environment and stuff. I think part of it is they feel guilty about other things they do in their life that negatively impact the environment.